Here's the 3 reasons why Tim Walz announced he will not seek re-election. There is more than the public is aware of. First, this traces back to early 2025, when reports of fraud and growing frustration in Minnesota communities began gaining attention. The focus was a Medicaid program called Housing Stabilization Services, created during COVID to help people with disabilities and housing instability. The program reimburses providers for services like housing navigation, tenancy support, and case management. Payments are made per enrollee and per service, with limited upfront verification and heavy reliance on provider self-reporting. Spending didn't slow down as COVID faded. Instead, it accelerated from about $3 million in 2020 to over $90 million in 2024. By early 2025, the program was on pace to exceed $100 million annually. Second, in March 2025, the Minnesota Department of Human Services, which oversees housing stabilization services, began tightening discretion over provider reimbursements. Temporary Commissioner Shireen Gandhi flagged providers and restricted payments, citing oversight concerns. That decision triggered backlash. Advocacy groups, providers, and lawmakers accused DHS of abruptly cutting services, while others argued the state had waited too long to address potential fraud. Complaints ranged from overbilling to questions about whether services were actually being delivered. Third, in September 2025, Walz issued an executive order directing state agencies to intensify efforts to prevent, detect, and combat fraud. At the same time, he announced his re-election campaign. 2 months later, the New York Times published an investigation describing alleged fraud in Minnesota's social services system. Then, in early 2026, independent YouTuber Nick Shirley released viral videos driving to multiple childcare and service locations. He claimed some appeared to be ghost operations, citing locked doors, empty facilities, or owners refusing entry. One widely shared clip focused on a learning center that misspelled learning as leering, fueling public skepticism. Investigators later visited some of the same locations, with owners saying they were closed that day, that children were not present at the time, or that the YouTuber arrived outside operating hours. The result was a mix of legitimate oversight questions and claims spreading rapidly online. All of this unfolded amid heightened scrutiny of public spending, a central theme of Trump's 2025 campaign, and a broader national debate over how government funds are distributed. The reality is likely mixed. There may be real fraud. The scope remains unknown, but politically, the controversy became radioactive for Tim Walz. Choosing not to run again is a strategic decision to avoid further damaging an already struggling Democratic Party, fresh off a national loss with Walz as the VP nominee. Follow this channel for important U.S. news and careful independent research-backed analysis.